Good morning. It is 10 a.m. here in Israel, and I'm walking here with my dog. And I recently downloaded this app which allows you to record your screen on your phone. So even though my dog is extremely cute, I was thinking that maybe I can try playing a game while walking out with my dog. So I'll see how it works out. So we have a rouser Sicilian here. I would say not a terribly popular Sicilian line if we compare it to the Nidorf Sicilian or to the Dragon Sicilian, which are definitely more popular. We don't see this specific variation all that often. Yeah. Now the opponent played h6. Okay. h6, I don't recall this move being the main line. I think bishop d7 is much more popular. So now my bishop is obviously under attack. Now one option would be to push my pawn to h4, to sacrifice my bishop in order to open up the h-file. Bishop h4 would be another option. Let me think for a second. I think h4 basically should be more principled, because this way I'm kind of threatening maybe to play e5 in the next move. But you know, when you're unfamiliar with a specific move, it's always a bit scary to play it, to play like a sacrificial move like h4. So maybe should I play the more solid move bishop h4 perhaps? Okay, let's go bishop h4. Now I am kind of assuming he will play e5 himself. I don't see too many other options for him to create any counterplay. If he's going to play his bishop to d7, I will have always this option to push my pawn to e5. This is why I think he needs to be more concrete here. e5, yeah. Okay, so how should I react to e5? Should I take? I think taking should be the right move, because if I don't take, he will probably take me back. Okay, I'll take it. He will take with the pawn probably, and then I would have a very tough decision of where to put my queen. Yeah, pawn takes pawn. Now if I put my queen on d2, he will have some tactical opportunities with knight takes e4. So probably queen d3 is what I will do at this point. Let's do queen d3. Now his move e5, a bit compromised, is d5 square. So if black does nothing special, I would definitely want to try and take advantage of the fact that the d5 square is inadequately protected. For example, an idea would be to take away the knight on f6 and then to place my knight on d5. So he's taking a bit of thinking here. I believe if I were him, I would play either bishop to e6, which looks like a logical developing move. Also rook d8, developing the rook, looks sensible. And finally even bishop to g4, hitting my rook on d1, also makes some sense. The question is really what is black is going to do in the long run with his d5 square. Will he be able to adequately protect it? Bishop g4. Okay, here we go. Now, my rook is under attack. One option, actually, is just let him take the rook to kind of sacrifice it in order to get some initiative going on the d5 square. But I think the more logical move would be to play rook f1, which is what I'm going to do now. Putting some pressure on his knight on f6. At some point I might even consider sacrificing my the exchange on the f6 square to open up his king a little bit. You might notice that his move e6 to e5 a couple of moves ago also opened up this bishop on c4, which is now looking straight at his king. So if I could ever get any attack going, I shall have this bishop in a very good square. Also my knight on c3 once again is ready to jump on d5 at any given moment. So I really wonder what is going to be his next move, because I know that I know where my pieces are going. If he's going to play his rook, one of his rook to d8, I will play my queen on g3. This is a nice square for the queen, putting pressure on his bishop while also creating some threats against his king. So I think black needs to be extremely careful at this point, and he needs to come up with a very kind of satisfactory solution to his problems, because otherwise he might get under some serious attack. I'm thinking that maybe black can consider a move like rook from a8 to c8. So the idea is that at some point black will have some opportunities to sacrifice his rook for one of my light pieces. So either the bishop on the c4 square or the knight on the c3 square. And this way you will perhaps have some defensive opportunities to defend the king whenever I will start an attack later on. Let's see, how is the dog going? So I was actually afraid that he will be shouting more often. He's not a very friendly dog usually to other dogs, but this time he's behaving quite well. Yeah. Is everything okay, pal? So the opponent, I think, is thinking for this move for already more than 2 minutes. It's quite surprising because I would say black is not doing all that badly at this point. It's just that he needs to find a very as I said, a very satisfactory way to deal with my threats, because my attack is coming very fast. Yes, rook c8, so he kind of almost as if though he heard my suggestion, so he played rook from a8 to c8. Okay, so if you hear this dog at the background, it's actually not my dog, but a little dog which shouts at him. And the funny thing that my dog is extremely big, and he's not even bothering to answer him. So rook c8. Let's see. So what I would really like to do at this point is to sacrifice the exchange on the f6 square, get his king into a very compromised position, and then let my queen go to the g3 square. The question is, can I get enough attack there for my sacrificed material? It's actually quite a big question. Well, I would say that my intuition says that I should have quite a serious attack there. But I'm also wondering what will happen if I just play a very simple move, like dropping my bishop on b3, kind of keeping it safe, and once again kind of passing the question to him of what he's going to do. Tough decision right there. It's one of the most difficult questions in chess, I believe, to decide when is the right moment to go for the attack, or where should you kind of keep it simple and play more of a no. So as I said, my dog is quite aggressive, and he saw another dog, but he decided to no, that's okay, Bal, that's okay. So rook c8. So I really kind of like the move just bishop to b3, keeping it very simple. Okay, but also bishop takes knight. Looks quite promising. Okay, let's do it. Let's take the knight. It's kind of seems to be a bit more principled. Yeah, now I can play the move knight to d5 straight away, or once again to sacrifice my rook against the bishop and to open up his king a bit. Time is running a bit low. It's really difficult for me to decide. I really am not sure. I kind of feel like if I play knight to d5, I will just have a very promising position with no risks. Okay, but once again, this is more of a educational video, so I will try to go for this more principled option. So now, even now, come on, even now after sacrificing the exchange, I still have quite a bit of options. I can jump with my knight on d5, or go with my queen on g3. Let's play knight d5. bringing my knight on the very active square, also threatening knight e7 check, kind of regaining the sacrificed material. And I think if I'm able to regain the exchange that I've sacrificed, then I will be just in a very good position for no apparent compensation. I apologize for the noise. It is quite a stuffy street here. Okay, guys, let's go. So yeah, now it's his turn to figure out his problems. I actually think that the best thing that he can do at this point might be to sacrifice back the exchange with bishop e6 or something like this, just because my knight on d5 is so strong that I think eventually he will have to give up one of his rooks to be able to offset the power of this knight. So the game is actually taking a very interesting twist here. I really am curious about his next move, because also one of his problems that he cannot simply protect the pawn on f6, because if he will play a move like king to g7, then I always have the move queen to g3, which he needs to deal with. So, what is going to be Mr. Juegador Nocturno? Obviously quite a decent player with a rating of 23-21. But he needs to make a very tough decision for himself at this point. That's one of the toughest things about a blitz game, or this game is a 10-minute game, that when you're under attack, you need to find very difficult moves or defensive moves in a short time. It's always kind of slightly easier to be on the attacking side in these time controls. That's why people usually in blitz games tend to play very aggressive openings and go for some very quick attacking games. Now, I'm not trying to suggest that you should always try to attack on the blitz game. I do think that you should be objective, so kind of to feel the moment. Is it the right time to go for the attack, or is it not? I kind of felt like it was the right moment, but I might be wrong. So after the game, I might give a quick look at the engine's evaluation. He's now below 50 seconds. Okay, king g7. Interesting, so he's allowing me actually to play the move queen to g3. I'm a bit surprised by his move. Okay, let's play queen g3. I have to bring my queen into the attack anyway. Now, with the combination with my knight on d5, I think I should have a very serious attacking chances. So one variation, an exemplary variation, could be something like rook takes my bishop, queen takes on g4 with check, his king moves, and then queen to h4. So he took the bishop, king h8. Yeah, now I saw this, and I think I can simply play queen h4 here, or even queen h3. Okay, now you can hear this guy voice. Why do you yell all the time? Why do you yell? I try to play chess here. Okay, that's a critical moment. Should I place my queen on h3 or on h4? It's such a big question. I basically don't want to lose any time in the attack. So the move queen h4 kind of seemed more natural. His king is on a dark square. Perhaps I should put my own queen also on a dark square. Time is running low. My rook on h1 is very much missing in this attack, but I'll try to do without him. I think I've spotted a nice resource on the next move actually. So my threat is checkmate in 2 moves. Queen takes h6, king g8, and knight e7 checkmate. Yeah, this is the move I was kind of afraid of. But I think I've spotted the move knight to e3. But I can also take with my queen on f6 with a check. That should be also very good. But I think knight e3 just forcing him to resign, because I threatened knight to f5 with a checkmate to follow, so I really don't see what can he do at this point. Probably the move queen takes f6 was also winning, but I think my move was more precise. So as you can see, a queen and a knight in the attack are a very lethal combo of pieces. So he played queen takes a2, but now I will just force him to resign after knight f5, because this is a checkmate on the next move. Okay, very nice game. Let's see the quick evaluation of the computer. I'm really curious. So I'm going back to this critical moment. After bishop takes f6, rook takes f6. So the computer says equality at the moment. But once again, this is a kind of equality where black needs to find very difficult moves. And as you can see, the move king g7 was mistaken. After this, white is already in a winning position. Wow, that's very interesting. And after this, probably my attack is already extremely strong. So it was a nice game in this Sunday morning. I hope my dog is not too mad at me for not paying too much attention to him. So if this video works out well, I might even do some series of walking out with my dog. Okay, have a nice day. See you all. Bye bye.